All right, welcome to New Consultant Training Class 4A. Here we go. Last week we covered the how-to of actually doing a facial or a party. It was a lot of that mind component, building that skill and that education and learning, and just kind of breaking down what do we do from start to finish and why do we do it. I think a lot of times there's so much helpfulness in just knowing why that piece is in there and how it's going to equip you and assist you in getting the results that you want to get. So we broke it down and explained that and how it builds to those results, and we're going to continue that tonight, and we're going to do the wrap up at the appointment. The presentation part of your appointments really is going to typically take maybe 45 minutes. It should not be 2 hours of you talking and going on about things. You want it to be, informational enough, but also concise to where it's not, extreme talking at people. They may talk and interact, but keep it to around 45 minutes. And that's the part where you're building trust with the women. You're building rapport, you're building respect. They're having fun, they're learning some new things. And if you do a great job during that part of just being normal and being a friend and having a good time, you will have a harvest to reap at the end. And that's the important part. Is the first part of the presentation is where you plant all the seeds. The end is where the harvest comes, and you have to go cut down that harvest. And that's what the individual close is for. Without doing the individual close, you will not have many results. You may sell some stuff here and there, but it's not going to be the same, and you will not book the parties and have the potential team members and things like that without doing the close, and your sales will be lower. How do I know this? I lived it. I did several parties before I had learned some of the ins and outs that we're going to talk about tonight and what we talked about last week. And I sold nothing, I booked no one, and had no interested team members. So when I learned those things and what we're going to cover tonight, everything changed. It went from 0 to 60, and I wasn't skilled at it. I just had the tools. And so I am a huge believer in doing an individual close. And if we ever discuss your appointments, that will be a question. Are you doing the individual close? It's so crucial, so crucial. So let's grab that document and read through it. I did email the individual close document out for tonight. It's also in the flip chart. So if you've printed your flip chart out, if you go to the very back, pages 29 and on actually have the individual close in there. And so that way, if you have your flip book for your presentations and your parties and your facials, at the end, all you do is flip the page and set it in your lap, and you can follow right along. And again, do not be ashamed to use this. It shows that A, you have training. You are not making stuff up. B, it helps someone who might be interested go, oh, she has like training stuff. They tell her what to say. Awesome. And C, it actually makes you look like a professional, like you're prepared and you have something you're going off of, not just kind of flying by night. So I used this for a long, long, long time. And let's take a look at that, whether you have it in your flip chart or you just have the document pulled up or printed. It's really, really crucial. We talked last week about sharing the specials, explaining those, and it's important that you close out at the table what the flip chart says. It has different pieces of things you're going to have them write down. You're going to do the referral game. Make sure you follow that well so that when you get to the strong individual close, you are ready to go. And let's read this together. It says, memorizing and knowing this is crucial to working full circle, keeping your business going and working smarter, not harder. This is going to set up your ability to get those results that we talked about with 2 women who you can share Mary Kay with over coffee, 2 new bookings of women who are going to invite friends to their follow-up appointment, and 2 new skincare customers. So this close is where that happens. After the table close, where you share the specials with everyone together, you will want to meet with every guest individually away from the table, not at the table, not at the table, unless you want to sabotage your sales and your future bookings. You do not want this to be a group exercise. And this can mean the difference between a $50 or a $500 appointment. So when I set up my little office, is what I call it, I do that before the party. I pick a spot where it is not at the table, and usually it's like the living room right through the doorway, and there's a couch there, and something like that. And I'll just set my bag that has all of my paperwork in it out there. It has all the catalogs out there. There are no catalogs on the table. There are absolutely no sales slips in sight. Those things are only in my bag in my little office station, and that's where we will talk at the end, and I will take care of those things. So have her sit down next to you if you can. I try not to be like across, but sit next to each other on the couch, for example, and have her back to the party so she can see me and she's not all distracted. And then I try to lower my body language so I am lower than she is, as far as like, I don't want to be towering over her. If it's a choice, I sit on the floor and she sits on the couch. So very much want her to feel empowered and just to have the body language that she's in charge, not me. Then the third paragraph here says you will start off asking every guest the same questions. Don't skip questions due to prejudging. Oh my goodness, to this day, if I allow myself to prejudge, and I would miss so much. There are so many times where I'm like, oh, I'm really glad I didn't skip that. She actually responded differently than I expected her to. Questions go in the order of icebreakers, then sales, then booking, then team building. They build on one another. Don't switch the order. Don't get all excited about something that she says and just run off. Follow the plan. It works. And then remind yourself that you're going to be courageous. This isn't something that you've done before. It's not like a talent that you're born with or like background that you have. So it takes getting used to, and leading an appointment is a leadership aspect. So sometimes we're not used to doing that. That's not what we've been accustomed to. And so you have to really step up and take the lead in this time. And that can require some courage, but those 20 seconds of courage can change your life. So you should have your office bag containing your date book, sales tickets, money bag, calculator, a lookbook, hostess packets, and recruiting packets. So that's what I call my business bag. It has those things in it, and those are all set in my little office area together. So the goal for the results is to set up 2 Listen for lip glosses, to book follow-up parties with at least 2 women, and to sell at least 2 skincare sets. That's the outcomes that you're hoping for, that you're going to be working to create. So as each woman sits down, relax, look in her eyes with a smile, and ask the first questions warmly. Did you have a good time? And even as I said that, I had to sit back in the chair, because that is how I try to do that with them. I sit back. Did you have a good time? I don't want to come across, did you have fun? I don't want to be that girl. I want to be relaxed and like I genuinely want to hear, did you have a good time? How does your skin feel? What product did you like the best tonight? I just want to get her talking, and I want her to notice and know that I am interested in what her experience was. Next, are there any questions I can answer for you? A lot of times they say no. Most of the time they say no, but I want to give them a chance to ask. So that's the first page of the individual close. Those were the icebreakers, where you're just talking, connecting. You're letting her know that you care about her as a person, and you're not just bottom line, get to it kind of mode. So then number 1, close the sale. You shared the specials with her. You gave her those options and had her jot down on the back of her card a wish list of what she would love to have. And all you have to say is, do any of the packages appeal to you for today? Let her answer. She'll let you know. If yes, fill out her receipt and take her payment. Don't give her the receipt or her products until you've completed the whole close. That's really important. If you hand her the receipt and her stuff, she's going to get up and walk away. She's not thinking about it. You want to fill out the slip and hold on to it, and I'll usually say, okay, great. So before I get this for you, and then we move on. If she wants to build her own, say she doesn't want one of the specials exactly, but she wants to kind of work her own deal, great. You work with her, fill out her receipt, her payment, all of that. If she wants nothing, no problem. You see how the specials are. I'm glad you had a good time, and then move on. I can't say strongly enough, move on whether she buys or not. The follow-up appointment is not about just, the products that she purchased and whether she has them yet. The follow-up is to take her into new things. So yes, you're going to check on her products if she has some, but you're also giving her a chance to try totally new things, more things. And it's also your chance, of course, to meet some of the women in her life. There are many, many women I could tell you by name in our family who didn't buy from me at the first appointment. But thankfully, I knew to continue on and to do the follow-up and to move forward with them. And they eventually are now whether leaders or members of our unit. So continue on to number 2 once the sale is done. Jody, I'm excited to get back together for your follow-up where we'll check your skin and do your colors. And in the table close, you have them write down me or free. Do they want it just to be you and her, or do they want to get free stuff by having friends join? So if she wrote down me, you just say, okay, I see that you wrote me as your answer to number 1. I do my individual follow-ups on Tuesday nights at 6:30, for example. I think it's a great idea to do follow-ups at our meetings because you can have as many women come. You want to be there anyway, so they get to play, they get to try stuff, and you don't have to run around doing a lot of follow-ups one-on-one. So that's a great time to offer. For us, it's Tuesdays at 6:30, whatever time yours would be, or you can do it at your home on a Saturday at 10 once a month and just have all your follow-ups come that want to do it one-on-one. There's a lot of ways to do that. So this is just an example for you. I do my individual follow-ups on Tuesdays at 6:30. Is this week or next week better for you? If she said free, as in I want to get free stuff, then you'll say, okay, I see that you wrote free as your answer to number 1. That's awesome. Do you think a daytime, evening, or weekend time would be best for you? Now, obviously, if you don't have daytime available, you don't have to offer that, whatever, timings work. But that's what I usually say is a daytime, evening, or a weekend best for you. And the reason why I ask that question is that is not going to shut her down. If you say, that's awesome, you want to get free stuff, when do you want to have a party? She's probably going to say, oh gosh, things are so busy. Let me check my schedule and I'll talk to my husband and I'll text some of my friends and I'll see what they can do. And you're like, okay, yeah, great. And then 3 weeks later, you still don't have a date. Now you're feeling like a stalker. She doesn't maybe want to do it. I don't know. But it's becoming awkward because you didn't schedule it right away. When you ask her, what do you think would be best for you, an evening time or a weekend time? All you're asking her to do is choose between the time frame. And so she may be like, oh, Saturdays are out. We have tons of sports. It would definitely have to be an evening, probably like a Thursday or a Friday. Okay, she's talking. She's giving you information. You can then say, okay, for sure, yeah. I actually usually do Thursdays. So let's see, today's Wednesday. I have next Thursday available or the week after. What would be better for you? And now she's like, let's see, we're going on vacation in 2 weeks. Probably next Thursday would work. I think next Thursday would be good. Okay, great. 6, 7, what do you think? And you lock in the time, and she didn't realize that she was committing. It wasn't this big, I am holding a party feeling for her. She was just answering the questions, thinking it out loud. You just helped her problem solve to a date without overwhelm, without stress, and without you having to hound her. That is a powerful way to book. And that's why I start always with the question, daytime, evening, weekend. Once she's given me that, then we can go, okay, so weekend-wise, Saturday, Sunday, and it just depends on what you offer. You do not have to open up a day that you don't want to work your Mary Kay. Like, don't. Have your boundaries set, but you're going to give her a couple choices and just leave lead her. I'd say, okay, great. Yeah, I do Saturdays. Let's see, this Saturday I have an afternoon slot. Next Saturday is a little bit more open. Is one better for you than the other? So again, I'm lighthearted, I'm not heavy-handed, but I ask a direct question that she can answer that won't overwhelm her. And I'm telling you, you can get the date set most of the time. So based on her answer, give her 2 options that will work for you. I'm at the bottom of page 30, the very last little chunk there. For example, if she says evenings, okay, I typically hold my evening appointments on blank or blank. Would next week work for you or the week after? Set the official day and time on the spot, and then coach her through the hostess packet. We covered the hostess packet in class 2B. So if you are not remembering, class 2B, go back to that. And this is the point when you pull out a hostess packet, you explain to her all the details right now in the appointment if she said free and she's wanting to gather her girlfriends. So then once that's done, we move to the last step of the individual close. And this is scheduling a listen for lip gloss. So if with option 1, if you played the marketing game, which the only time I don't play the marketing game is if it's a facial or maybe like a double facial. I don't necessarily play that game. But if you're doing a party, if you have a group of women, it's a fun game to play. And so if you did that, if when you closed out at the table, you had her write down yes, maybe, no, yes, sure, or no, to giving you feedback and helping you with your training. So again, she's already answered the question on the back of her profile card. You're just going to go off of what she said. If her answer to, would you be willing to help me with my training, was yes, you say, okay, what questions or thoughts do you have about the Mary Kay opportunity? Or what intrigued you the most? Because if she said yes, that means I'll help you and I'm kind of interested. I'm curious. So you can dialogue with her right then and there. If she gets her questions answered, sign her up. If she's ready to do it, sometimes women know a ton about Mary Kay or they used to sell it and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. Go for it. Sign her up. New team member. Woohoo. If she'd like more information, if she needs to think, she needs a little time, then go ahead and set up the coffee date with you and your director and her. And you can say something like, let's set a time my mentor and talk more about this. I can give you some more information and we can discuss any questions you have. Is tomorrow or Friday better for you? You want to pick a time that's close. And again, when you give her 2 options, she'll pick one. All right, so that is if she said, yes, I would love to help you, and I really am interested. If her answer was sure, that means, sure, I'll help you. Not interested in selling Mary Kay, but I'll help you. Then you say, thank you so much for being willing to help me with my training. We can set a time to do a coffee date, or if she lives really far away, you know, depending on the situation where it's like not possible for you guys to gather like that, you can do FaceTime. In person is ideal. But I just wanted to clarify that. If she's an hour and a half away from you or your director, A-okay to do FaceTime. We can set a time to do a coffee date with my director to practice and get your feedback. Would tomorrow or Friday be better for you? Just go ahead and lock a time in and then just text your director and let her know, hey, I booked us for this time, will it work? Or before you go into the party, if you're thinking about it, text me then or your director then and just say, hey, what are your times for chats? I promise you, I or whoever your director is will gladly give you times. That is one of the most fun and most exciting things that we do is share the opportunity with women, especially with women that you have met. It gets us pumped up to see who might want to come and join and be a part of our team and get to share the story. So don't hesitate to schedule these. We are thrilled when you want to do that. All right, so that's for sure. And if her answer was no, I don't really want to help you with that. Just thank her for being a customer or thank her for coming. No big deal. I appreciate you. The last piece would be on page 32. The last page here would be if you didn't do the marketing game and you just want to ask her to do a listen for lip gloss with you, or say she's just really awesome and you're like, I know she doesn't say she's interested in Mary Kay, but I really need her to do it. I really want her, I really want to expose her to this, then there's scripting right here that you can say. So read under option 2, if you did not play the marketing game, choose 2 of the women you liked the best, or the woman, who, and just say, Lisa, I have one more question for you. I'm earning a set of pearls, which is what you earn as a new consultant. You obviously can change that goal as you grow in your business. Don't lie. But you earn a couple sets of pearls, so you have a while that you can utilize that. But I'm earning a set of pearls as I complete some training with my business coach or my mentor, whichever word you like. What I need to do is share the Mary Kay story with 3 of my clients and get their honest feedback. I'd love to have your help with my training. It takes about 30 minutes. Free lip jelly as a thank you. Would you be willing to help me with that? So not heavy, not too crazy or scary. You're just asking for her to help give feedback so you can learn and she gets something out of it. You're not giving her every detail up front. We would meet and we would do this and then blah, blah, blah. No, just the overview first. If she says yes, then awesome. Okay, well, we just need to set a time to do a coffee date to get that feedback from you. Is tomorrow or Friday better? Just give her 2 choices again so you can lock that time in. And then, okay, I will text you a number to call to listen. Ooh, this has already changed. We now have a Voxer recording. It's a 15-minute recording, so they don't have to call. They just click on it and they can listen to the message. So I'll text you a link to a 15-minute recording about our Mary Kay story, and you can jot down your responses. Just do that before we meet on Friday, and you'll be all set. And so that is the 3 pieces of closing out individually with women. You start with a sale of, does she want to take advantage of a special, or does are there other things she wants? Women typically know. They're good. That's easy. Then booking the follow-up. Is it going to be one-on-one, or is she going to have friends? Coaching her through the hostess packet if necessary. And then scheduling those listen for lip glosses with the women who are willing to sit down and talk. And that process, like I said, early on feels like weird, like trying to learn. You're like glued to the page. Totally normal. It is worth working through it. I was like glued to this for 1.5 years before it really was ingrained in me. But I would tell you what, it makes all the difference. To this day, I will not do an individual consultation with the women. And I know the power of it. And so it's worth figuring out. It's worth working through. And again, remember, Mary Kay is not a talent. So if you are working on it and it's just not coming, or you feel like a certain result is not happening like it should be, that's what we want to know. We want to be able to help you and work with that. And it may be that there's just something that slipped through, something we can, practice or role play with. It's worth fighting for. So please fight for getting that. All right. And don't be afraid to practice it. Practice, practice, practice. Practice getting those words to come out. In the car on your way to your parties, I so many times have practiced trying to say what I want to say so I'm not tripping over my words. And it really does make a difference. Find your way. Find your spirit so that you can convey this in a way that feels good and feels integrity filled for you. So that's how you close out the appointments. After that 45 minutes at the table, you sit with each woman one-on-one. And when I'm not jabbering at you and explaining things, sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's 5, but you're going to move through the rest of those ladies with the other 45 minutes of your party. So if you've got 1.5 hours slated, half is for the presentation and half is for closing out. And it's very, very crucial time. Very crucial, because that's that connection with each woman individually, as opposed to just a mass of people and throwing sales slips on the table. Not a good way to go. So now that you've seen the close and how that happens and the results that you want to create from that, let's talk about why those things matter. Why is the two bookings, 2 sharing appointments, all that, why is that? And so if you would grab the customer service formula page, that document is going to walk through the process that you want to work with each woman who becomes a client of yours. And this is the ideal process. Like, perfect world, this is how it will go. That will enable you to build the deepest and the strongest and the most loyal customer base that you can. And that's something that I just love about Mary Kay. The relationships we build continue onward. The hours you invest up front with a woman over a facial or a group of ladies at a party, that return comes and comes and comes if you honor them, if you take good care of them. And so this customer service formula will just help you to know how to do that professionally and healthfully, to where you're not like, am I doing too much? Am I like leaving people hanging? You know, sometimes you're not sure. So grab that document, and I'm grabbing mine. And the customer service formula is a similar formula. It's a 2 + 2 + 2. Kind of like the results at your party, you want 2 + 2 + 2. 2 listen for lip glosses, 2 bookings, 2 skincare sets. Our customer service formula is 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. So let's break that down. The first 2 days after her first appointment, that's when you're going to call and check on how her products are working, as well as to discuss her follow-up appointment and get her guest list. If she's getting girls together, you definitely need that guest list by then. So you're just saying, hey, are you loving your products? How's everything going? Any issues? And having the chance to make any adjustments that are needed, as well as, of course, getting her guest list. The next 2 is the 2-week mark. And that's when you want to try to have completed that follow-up appointment, whether it was one-on-one or a party. If you can see her twice in a 2-week window, you greatly, greatly increase the chance of her staying with you and coming back and being a loyal customer. If you only see her once randomly at a party and, you know, she buys stuff and leaves, you become that Mary Kay person she met that one time at that party. You are not her consultant at that point. Once you come back and you see her a second time and you guys go more in depth and you do more, now she's going, yeah, Jess, my consultant. Oh yeah, Jess came to my house, or I met with her and we did colors and she taught me how to do a smoky eye. You know, now you actually have like this solidification, and you are double as likely to keep her as a customer after that second time. And then the 2-month mark is checking in to touch base and make sure you're servicing her needs just about every 2 months. And there are a couple specific ways to do that. The first one is sending the lookbook. That comes out once every 3 months. So 4 times a year, we have a new lookbook. And when those launch, I do a mass text out. There's something called easy texting. And I can just put a picture in there of some new products. And then I just send a text out that just says, hey, the new stuff's out. I'll hit a couple highlights of, you know, products that I think they might enjoy. And let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Early on, if you only text them yourself. Now, when I have over 200, that takes a long time. So a lot of times I'll do an easy texting service, but it doesn't matter. It's just reaching out to them about the catalog so they know to watch for it and that they, you know, can check out what's new. And then the holiday open house and spring fling are 2 sales I do every year. That's the only time that I do sales. I don't want to devalue my product. I don't want people to be like, unwilling to pay full price because Jess is always offering a deal. So twice a year, I do buy one, get one half off. And it's a thank you sale to my customers. And so it's all virtual. They order online, and I'll just, you know, honor that discount of buy one, get one half off. And so you can find your way, you can make it your own, have as much fun as you want to have with customer service. I recommend that if it gets you excited to think about, you know, having a color scheme for your delivery products, or, you know, writing a thank you note for each order, or always sending a sample, you know, have fun with it, make it your own. Try to think, okay, if I was a customer, what would make me stay? What would make me unwilling to go buy from someone else or to go to Target or Ulta? You know, have fun with that thought process. But when you follow that plan of checking in after 2 days, seeing her for the follow-up within 2 weeks, and then every 2 months just checking in and making sure she's hearing from you and getting some information, you will build a customer base that will stay with you for life. And that will become weekly reorder business. There is not a week that goes by that I don't have someone ordering something. And sometimes it's hundreds, sometimes it's, you know, 50s, but it is such a blessing. And one of the reasons why I would never, ever quit Mary Kay, even if I went to total like hobby level, I'm going to send out catalogs and service people because it will make me money for the rest of my life. And they're happy and they're using a product that they love, that they feel good about using because of who our company is. So that is the customer service formula you want to follow. And at the bottom of that page, you'll see the preferred customer program. And this is how you get a lookbook into the hands of your customers every quarter. So I told you that they launch one, they send out a catalog every quarter. How do you know that your customers are getting it? How do you make sure that that's happening? That is called PCP, or the Preferred Customer Program. And we are actually in an enrollment period right now because it's July. You may not be watching this at July, but we are in one right now. And so it'll run for a full month where you can sign up any customers you have to receive the lookbook in the mail. Why that? Is it beneficial? What would make you want to use it? It is amazing. First off, if you look at the 3 bullets underneath that, number 1, you save time and money. When you go on and you enroll your customers in the Preferred Customer Program, you pay 70 cents per person, and Mary Kay puts a sample inside, puts your information on the back, and mails it to the person's home. That would cost you well over $1.50 if you did it yourself, not to mention the time and effort. So you are saving more than 50% of the cost just using the system. It's like amazing. You are not paying any extra. You are saving money. Secondly, it allows you to order early. You do, when you use PCP, get the new stuff early. So as your customers are getting the catalog, you can have it on hand. You can have samples of it versus scrambling to try to hurry up and order it after they've seen it and they're wanting it. And then thirdly, it gives you a boost in your business. Using the Preferred Customer Program will typically increase your annual sales by 30% because the customers are hearing from you. They're getting that book in the mail. They're seeing the new products. And it just is a powerful way to keep them connected. There are a lot of products out there. There are a lot of companies people can support. So this is one way you can have your foot in the door. And it doesn't take much time on your part. It's just clicking through the names every quarter. You do re-enroll every quarter and pay that little bit. But man, if you send it to someone for a year and they buy one eyeshadow, you made back the $2.80 that you've spent on them. And most likely way more than that. So that is the Preferred Customer Program that allows those books to get to people's door and to get your name in front of them 4 times a year. So that is always something that is advertised on Mary Kay in Touch. When it's time to enroll your customers, you get emails from Mary Kay corporate. It will be in our weekly What's Going On email, the WIGO. It's always posted on Facebook. So if you're paying attention, you will see it and you will not miss it. Just watch out for that. And over time, you'll learn the actual pattern of when those enrollments are. And of course, can plan on them as well. So that is customer service and how to work with women to build relationships over time. The last little thing we're going to talk about is your Mary Kay personal website. For tonight. So if you grab that personal website document, just a reminder, if you didn't already sign up for one, I highly recommend it. They are so handy. It's wonderful to know that your customers can shop 24/7. People can also search for you and find your website, and you can gain customers just randomly who live in your area because you have a website. And in today's day and age, it's just a powerful thing. So your first year is 50% off, which is amazing. And just to have a website for $25 for a year is crazy good. It's an amazing price, and it's so professional. It is nothing you have to update, nothing you have to control. I do not go to my website. I never. It's just there, and I get emails that tell me when I have orders. So it is a wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to service people through that. And that also allows you to do customer delivery service and some of those other great things. So there's something I was thinking about. I don't remember. So yes, if you set up a website, you do have emails that will be sent to you when you get an order, and there will be notifications on Mary Kay in Touch as well under your action items. So those are two places where you'll be notified when you have orders that come in, and then you go in and you process those orders. I get that question a lot, like, do I have to process them? Most of the time there is a part that you need to do. And so as that happens, you'll learn it, and you can ask me more in depth at that time. So as we wrap up tonight, remember the individual close that we went through first is how you set up the follow-up appointment and how you know who to touch base with after two days because of their purchases or their follow-ups that are scheduled. So working smart is closing out at each appointment professionally with the individual close. That sets you up for customer service from there. You're not having to start fresh and call all these people and figure this stuff out and do all this extra work. If you do it at the appointment, that sets you up to have 2-day and 2-week mark already, and it just flows smoothly, so you don't have to feel like you're constantly going back and trying to check back in and track people down. The individual close is powerful because you want for your business and the results that you need, but also the best service that we can provide to those customers as well. So next week, we are going to answer a question that may be in your mind. What do I do at a follow-up? I'm scheduling them. What the heck do I do? That's coming at you next week. We're going to talk about that, as well as foundation matching, which can be one of the more challenging or maybe intimidating things for women. That's coming next week, and some other good stuff. So join me back here, but be sure to do the voucher between now and then so you can get credit and really implement the things that we've learned tonight. Have a good evening.